Hi, second graders. It is Mrs. Briggs here with Module 1, Lesson 27's Deep Dive. Today, you will need either just a blank piece of paper or a note card. You're going to be drawing two pictures. So you could also just use a notebook paper if you would like to. You will need your reading notebook, and we will use the vocabulary section as well. Your Sky Tree book will help you out with this deep dive. So if you don't have those items, you can pause the video and go get them now. All right, I'm going to read these two sentences to you, and then we will read them together later on in this lesson. These sentences are from your book, Sky Tree. So the first one says, "The clouds opened, and for a moment the sky filled the branches." We are going to be focusing on the word opened today, or just open. The second sentence says, "Clouds gathered and filled the tree's empty branches and then drifted away." We will also be looking at the word drifted. So we're focusing on these two vocabulary words for today. Now, we will reread the sentences. You're going to draw a picture for each sentence. There's two sentences, so draw two pictures. So again, the first one, "The clouds opened, and for a moment the sky filled the branches." What do you picture in your head when we read that sentence? Draw it on your piece of paper. And then the second one, "Clouds gathered and filled the tree's empty branches and then drifted away." Think about what you picture in your head when you read that, and draw a picture of that sentence as well. So you can pause the video to take some time to draw a picture to go with both of those sentences. Okay, let's read these sentences together. Ready? "The clouds opened, and for a moment the sky filled the branches." And the next one, "Clouds gathered and filled the tree's empty branches and then drifted away." How does the author describe the season? So reading those two sentences, how does the author describe the season? Well, the first line describes the sky as covered with clouds. When the clouds move, it looks like a curtain opening across a sky. We can see the sky, but only for a moment. Then the clouds will cover the sky again. The two illustrations and the text show that the wind moves the clouds. The first sentence describes how the sky fills the tree's branches. The second sentence describes how the clouds fill the tree's branches where the branches used to be. The wind will send the clouds drifting away. So what kind of weather might cause the clouds to move as the author describes? Would the weather be stormy? How strong would the wind be? Think about the sky that you have experienced seeing. Can you think of a time where you saw the clouds in the sky? Or even look out the window today. What is the weather like? Are you seeing what is described by the author today? Or not? Well, I think the author is describing a quiet time in the weather. The clouds are moving because the author says they are open for a moment, for just a short amount of time. That sounds as though in another moment the clouds will close, covering the sky again. Have you ever seen that? You're watching the clouds move, or maybe you're just playing outside and all of a sudden you notice, ooh, it got brighter for a moment, and then it gets darker again. Because the sun maybe peeked through the clouds for a little bit, but then the clouds cover up the sun again. If clouds are drifting, they probably aren't moving very fast. The author does not say that the clouds are racing through the sky. Cold, stormy weather is probably on the way. In the next spread, ice starts to form. In that first sentence, we do have the verb opened or open. Let's echo read the definitions. So I will read the sentence first and then you read it after me. Ready? Allowing access, passage, or a view through an empty space. Not closed or blocked up. We also have exposed to the air or to view, or not covered. Which definition is the one that matches the context of the word in the text? We know there are a lot of multiple meaning words, but think about how the word open is used in this sentence, in this text. Which one makes the most sense to use? Were you thinking the second one with not covered? Good. Okay. What do you think the word drift means? We have the word drifted in that second sentence. Do you know what that means? Have you heard it before? Let's look at a definition or definitions for the word drift. Okay, so here we have to be carried slowly by a current of air or water. And then we have, especially of snow or leaves, be blown into heaps by the wind. Does a dictionary definition help clarify the meaning of drift? Yeah, it does, because if I think about snow blowing on the road, it's not usually super fast, right? It's just a little bit of snow slowly coming onto the road. So we are actually going to add those two words to our vocabulary journal. Sorry, I'm having a little lag on my screen. It's not changing as quickly as I would like it to. Let's see here. Oh, and it's frozen. There we go. Okay. Is it moving? There we go. You need your reading notebook. We're going to use the vocabulary section. And we're going to add the word open and the word drift. So the definition that we'll use for open is not covered or closed. And for drift, we will use carried slowly by wind or water. Now in our book, drift is used by with the wind carrying the clouds very slowly. So add those two words and their meanings or their definitions to your vocabulary journal. If you need to pause the video here to do that, you may. And then we're coming in for a landing. How does the author use language to help tell his story about seasons? We've been learning a lot about seasons, specifically fall. This is our last book talking about fall. So how does this author use language to help tell his story? Well, the author uses words that help us visualize the weather and the setting so we can kind of picture it in our brains. The clouds open to show the sky is a poetic way to say or to show that the sky is very cloudy. Clouds fill the tree's empty branches and then drift away. Means that the tree has already lost all its leaves. Clouds are moving across the sky. The author tells us that winter is on the way by showing how weather affects the tree and the sky. So your task today was to add open and drift to your reading notebook in the vocabulary section. I do apologize for the lag on the screen. I know some of my words are not lining up with what you see. It's going a little slow today. But thanks for working with me. If you already added those words to your vocabulary journal, then you are done with this deep dive. Thank you for doing your best, and have a great rest of the day.